Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy T, putting the G in Geek, coming to you with another episode of On the Hunt. You know, the weekly web series where I kind of let you guys follow along with the hot books that I'm picking. Now, I gotta start this video off like I start all the videos off by saying, you know, this isn't really investment advice. This isn't really financial advice. You know what I mean? We're just doing this for fun. Don't spend your rent money on it. We're just trying to get some hot books to cover price. Also, another point of this video is to share information. You know what I mean? Share information with me, share information with others. I don't know what you're getting. I might want to get it. You know what I mean? The day is young. It's the best day of the week, comic day. So let's get right to it. So as always, I'm going to start out with Marvel, and the first book I'm going to pick up from Marvel is The Amazing Spider-Man, number 798. No, this is supposed to be the first full appearance of the Red Goblin, you know what I mean? This is supposed to be the real one. I've also flipped through the book a little bit. You actually get to see him. He says stuff. It's dialogue, so I'm sure that this is the one. I mean, it's still a mystery on who exactly it is, but this is going to be the first full appearance. With that being said, I'm sure that there's going to be 1 million copies of this printed and distributed. I'm sure there's 1 million out there, so I don't know, this might be more of a long-term hold, but still, it's going to be hot. It's a hot character, and it's definitely going to be my first pickup. The next book I'm going to pick up is Venomized number 1, just the regular cover. I don't know, this is kind of a little bit hit and miss. It seems to be kind of trending hard on social media and eBay and stuff like that, but other than that, I don't know. We'll have to see exactly what the book is about. Other than that, not really much events going on, so I'd probably move right on to some covers. Lots of Marvel covers this week that I personally think are good. We're going to start out with The Amazing Spider-Man, number 798, the Ross Virgin variant. This is really this is really nice. I'm not really sure about kind of the prices that surround this or how much exactly I would want to pay for it. I don't know, it's kind of unclear to me. I would probably settle for around so on some of these variants, especially these ones, like I really like the Alex Ross, but what I might do is I kind of might look up the cover, like the going market rate. So say it was like $100, and if I see it somewhere for like $50, then that's kind of what I would do. Then maybe I would give it a grab. That way, if I love it, I got a great deal, and that way if it falls over time, at least I'll still have paid somewhere around the thing. And if I do want to flip it immediately, at least I could be sure that even with a little bit of fall, I'd still, you know, kind of come away with something. So when I say that I kind of half market price, that's kind of what I mean. I would go half market price on a lot of this stuff. I'm going to show some of the variants, but I'm definitely going to be like kind of going exactly what I would go on them, because some of them are nice. So the next book I'd pick up for the cover, but we're on the covers right now, is Avengers 687. This is just the regular Mark Brooks cover. I really like it. I like how the face is smashing. The characters are coming out really interesting. The next book I'd pick up is the Avengers 687, the Venom 30th Anniversary variant. This is a really cool homage after the Larson cover there. To be completely honest, like, art-wise, I actually think this is better than the original Larson, so I will definitely pick up this homage. I know that's kind of, you know, like maybe that's sacrilegious or whatever, but I just think art-wise it's better. It's drawn better. Hey, I don't know what to say. I think Venom looks better. The skull looks better. I don't know what to say. The next book I'd pick up, or I'm going to pick up, is the Iron Fist number 79. It's got a really cool, like I said, these are just for the cover, you know what I mean? I'm not really saying that these are going to like skyrocket or anything like that, but somewhere down the line, someone might look for these covers. Iron Fist number 79. It's a really cool painted cover. I like the first person version. You know, Iron Fist looks like he's about to knuckle someone up, give him a little two-piece. That's kind of neat. I like how the hand's glowing. The next book I'd pick up is Punisher number 223. This is just the regular cover. The Crane covers have been awesome on this series, and I'm actually starting to hear that inside the book's pretty good. Punisher and the War Machine's always cool. And in this one, the cover looks really explodey. I like how it's like the light is breaching all of the holes in the armor, and it looks like he might explode or overload or something. That looks cool. The next book I'm going to pick up is The True Believers, Thanos the First, number 1. This is just a True Believers, the number 1 comics. I mean, again, I've flipped these for as much as $5 at times. I only really collect the really big, significant books, and I think right now the first Thanos definitely falls into that category. Definitely a key that everybody wants. So, always a nice reprint to have. The next I'd move on to Venomized number 1, the Okay, so the Androsovsky variant. I don't know. It's a C2E2 Venomized variant. It's really cool. It's painted. I've seen them around just for cover price. Venomized #1, the Crane variant. I mean, I collect Crane covers. I wish the bottom of his body looked a little bit better, but I do. It's white cover with the black venom. It's kind of striking. And I'd grab maybe the Venomized #1, the Delato variant, the 1/25. It's a really nice, cool, dark Delato cover. Venom looks kind of dark on it. I like the pose. I like how he looks. The only thing is that I'd only really go half market on these. Sometimes people are starting to get crazy with the Delato variant prices only to see them fall. So I would say at least a half market on that. And also I would pick up, if I saw it for half market, the Venomized #1, the 1/50 Delato. Maybe if I saw it at half market. I like this one a little bit better than the other one. I find the dark one is as cool as it is in dark, and he looks dark. It's a little washed out compared to this one, where you get that blue contrast and kind of like how, you know, Venom looks on it, hanging off the building and stuff like that. I think it's pretty neat. So, yeah, those are the books I'd pick up from Marvel. Moving right along, I'd pick up some DC books next, move right on to DC. And the first book I'm going to pick up from DC is Batman #44. This is the marriage issue. It kind of looks cool. I think if the marriage lasts, then we have some long-term hold on this book. But I do, again, think that only if this marriage lasts. I do like the story arc surrounding the marriage. So, I mean, it could be something that looks kind of cool and kooky. Something to pick up for sure. The next book I'd pick up event-wise definitely would be Deathstroke #30. This is the first part of the Deathstroke versus Batman story arc. Also, we get a little bit of a Maury Povich moment. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm sure if you've seen the Maury Povich show and the type of things he does with paternity tests, that kind of can give you a little clue. Other than that, there's not really much events going on from DC that I'd really latch on to, so I'm just going to head right to the covers. The first cover I'm going to pick up is Batman #44, the Joelle Jones variant. It's a cool marriage cover. It looks like, I like how he's in the suit with the Batman, she's in the Catwoman suit with the wedding dress. I don't know if these connect. I haven't really seen them side by side, but it could be cool. The next thing I'd grab is definitely hands down cover of the week, Dark Deathstroke #30, that Matina variant. You get a Matina cover for cover price. I'm sure everyone's going to over-order these, but still, who cares, man? This might be one of the covers of the year so far. I love Deathstroke. I love how badass he looks, and come on, man. It's Deathstroke versus Batman, and he's clearly cleaning blood off of his sword with Superman's cape, so you can only assume that he's giving these guys a run for their money. Cleaning the blood with Superman's cape alone is like badass in itself, so that would be really cool. And lastly, I would grab the Harley Quinn #41, the Frank Cho variant. It's a great looking cover. I like how it shows the Poison Ivy, I believe it's Poison Ivy, Harley ripping open the Supergirl suit, and I can't remember the third character right now, but yeah, it does show 3, and it's supposed to be a connecting cover. That's why it looks like the Harley face is in half. So I've always been collecting the Chos, so you know I'm going to continue with those, especially with that, and I really like how he draws those characters. They all look pretty thick on there as usual. So yeah, man, that's going to wrap up DC. Moving right along to Image, the first book I'd pick up from Image is Analog #1. This might be a flip through and grab. It could very well be an Image dud. Nowadays, I noticed that Image is kind of having a lot more duds than you know, spec hits. There was a moment there where it's like every Image book was a spec, you know, was kind of a hit. But nowadays, I find a lot of them are duds. So I would actually make sure that pick actually fits, like you're actually kind of interested in it, and you know, you kind of maybe want to hold on to it. Also, in my opinion, cover A is king for everything. Cover A, usually people kind of consider that, you know, the original. So, but in this case, on this book, I would actually honestly say that I actually like cover B better. It's a nice Declan Shalvey cover. I like how the guy's holding the suitcase. It's got the bloody hand with this. He's obviously handcuffed to it. I like that better, but again, you know, if you actually looked through this book and had some sort of belief in it, you know, cover A always seems to be king. And that's about it from Image as far as anything interesting as far as that goes. I'd grab some covers. I'd grab I Hate Fairyland #18, the Jean-Francois Beaulieu. I suck at names, man. Beaulieu? I don't know. Anyways, man, yeah, grab that. It's got a very cool postmodern style. Kind of reminds me of like a Rocco's modern, you know, like a post, you know, that kind of art style. I would grab this just because I like the cover art and how it looks. If it does have any heat, I think it would be a flash in the pan. I just can't see this issue being like really sought after later. Maybe people, you know, because stores might have underordered it, it'd be really quick, but I still think it's cool regardless. Next, I'd grab Spawn number 284. Of course, man, it's got this Matina. I'm actually gonna grab a set. I'm going to show all three. I'll show the cover A, the cover B, and the cover C, which is a Virgin, the cover B being that black and white that you just saw. Yeah, man, I'm going to grab all three of those. I really like it. I actually think Spawn looks super cool, man. The Virgin is beautiful of this. I love the goo on his hands. He just looks badass, man. He looks ripped and cool. Matina, like, is drawing him awesome, so I'm definitely going to pick that up. I'd pick up The Walking Dead number 178, the Sankovic variant. I know he's been hit or miss on these covers for a lot of people. Again, like I'll mention, Mark, he doesn't like them all the time. This one is kind of creepy. I don't know. It just looks creepy. The way her eyes are closed, the way it's shiny, the Joker smile scar on one side. I don't know. That scar looks pretty gnarly. I kind of remember it being a lot wider, but I guess he wanted to make it as just like a little thin thing. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. I kind of like it. I don't know. It looks really creepy. And one more little thing that I kind of read and saw something about was, a few weeks ago, they released the Oblivion song number 1, and you know how they like to do the Pink Chase variants. Well, they didn't do them in store, but I guess they did do them if you order some sort of Wonder Box online. They're going for like $200, man, and I guess if you go to some of the conventions, Skybound, if you buy like $25 worth of stuff off them, there was a chance for you to get one of these, and I guess they're at C2E2, and they're going to be at SDCC, so, I mean, it's kind of an obscure piece of knowledge. I mean, like, how could you, I mean, it's probably not a good chance that you might be at these conventions, but I heard that some of these boxes are still orderable online, and you're kind of guaranteed one. I don't know, once people hear a lot more about that, if it's still going to hold up that 200 or if it's worth it. Like, don't go buy one of those boxes for 80, man, and then by the time you get the book, it's only going for like 90 or something crazy, and you got all this, you know, put all this time in it. But it's still kind of interesting. If you are going to be around that, it might be something to ask for, it might be something to look up, or if you see them anywhere. That was only 2 shows I mentioned, but Skybound's everywhere. You know, ask, they might still have them available, and that might be something cool to pick up. So yeah, that's going to do it for Image. Just wrapping that up, and we'll move on to the next. Next thing I'd move on to is 2000 AD, it's called. 2000 AD, and the comic is Dread Furies number 1. I know this is kind of, I don't know if I'd even really call this a spec pick. I mean, there are a lot of movie fans for the Dread stuff. It seems to go well. I could see it going up a little bit. I would grab it if you really believe in the movie fans and stuff like that. I might grab it because, like, from what I remember from the movies and like all that stuff, it's really it really is a brutal universe. Like, there's a lot of blood, gore, so I might flip through this. It's just a one-shot, so I mean, you're getting a complete story there, and if it looks brutal enough, like, you know, enough people are getting blasted, then, you know, maybe I'll pick it up, something like that. But yeah, man, that's about it from that. Next, I'm going to move on to Alterna Comics, and only really one comic from this Alterna stuff, and that is called Zero Jumper number 1. It's just a little $1.50 comic, something maybe to pick up and check out for $1.50. How can you really go wrong? You get your old pulpy paper smell and feel because it's got that old school paper. It's not really the new semi-gloss stuff that rubs off on backboards, and or maybe it does, I don't know, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, it could be something cool for $1.50, just a little something from Alternative checkout. Another little quick checkout I might, you know, another little quick pick I might check out is from Aspen Comics, and that is a comic called Portal Bound number 1. It looks like it might have some sci-fi types of things. It's headed towards a sellout. I'm not really into that, but it might be something to check out. Again, that would be definitely have a flip through before. Supposedly it is heading to be sold out, but who really knows what that means? We don't really know. I don't really know the print run, so that could be good or bad. I don't know. But yeah, maybe check that out from Aspen there. The next book I'd pick up is from a publisher, or not from a publisher, but is from Dark Horse Comics. I'm sure everybody knows exactly who they are, and it is Xerxes, The Fall of the House of Darius and Rise of Alexander number 1. Sorry that I had to read that. That's a long title. It's kind of a mouthful. It's a return to the world of 300. It's by Frank Miller. It could resonate with some movie fans, but that would be the only reason I picked it up. I really like the movie 300, so I'd kind of flip through through it. If I thought it looked kind of interesting enough inside, I might pick it up. But yeah, other than that, not really much going on from Dark Horse. That's probably all I'd get. Next, I'm going to move on to IDW. The first comic I'm going to grab from IDW is Demigod #1. It's a new book by Ron Mars and Andy Smith. It looks like it could be a hit. Also, as you can see when I put up the cover of #1 here, it kind of has a really 80s ripped feel to it. Maybe not 80s, maybe more 90s. But you know, when superheroes were just like gregarious, hulking monsters with like millions of muscles. I don't know. It could be a good fun throwback thing. Sounds like a new universe with a lot of kind of heroes doing wonderful things, so that might be kind of interesting to pick up. The next book I kind of check out is Sonic the Hedgehog #1. So many people are talking about this, but it's so I'm just not that into kids books. As much as I love Sonic the Hedgehog, man, I really played those games, Sega games, like back in the day, like really hard. I can still hear the music and everything going through my head, but you know, I just don't have like that much belief in long terms for kids books. But I mean, this book is being talked about a lot, so I thought I should mention it. So maybe that is something to look for from IDW there. Last but not least, I'm gonna go with Scout Comics, and I'm gonna grab a comic called Welcome to Paradise #1. It could be interesting. It looks like a little bit of a post-apocalyptic story. Again, I would say that this is another flip through. When I usually say that I'm going to flip through it or anything, or if it's a flip through pick, that's because I don't really know how the art's going to be, right? Like, so because a lot of this stuff is predicated on the fact that you're going to get some really good art in there. So like a lot of the times those long-term stuff or things that end up, you know, people like gravitate to will have good art. So this would definitely be something that I would go to the store, flip through. If it looks like it has really good moments and amazing art, then hey man, I usually pick that up. If it looks really basic or anything like that, then I usually take a pass on it. But yeah, that's about it from Scout Comics. Well guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of On the Hunt. You know, as always, if you liked in this video, you know, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that good stuff. Leave some sound off in the comments, you know, if you have some good books or anything cool you want to let me know about. I'd love to stay and chat with you guys, but, you know, time is ticking. I got to get my butt out there and get some of these books. I hope you guys have good luck getting these books too. Have a great week. Peace.